leads to real physical suffering, and in the case of the Havana illnesses, to global political consequences. While these authors wisely stay away from considering political motives, it is also clear that the individual agendas of policymakers have made important contributions to the problem, as powerful players such as the U.S. Department of State release broad public announcement based almost strictly on speculation. The events in Havana and the domino consequences that followed were propagated by well-meaning physicians, by shady characters pursuing narrow fiscal interests, by journalists who are eager for a story but short on thoughtful investigation, and by a generally credulous and uncritical public that chooses to trust its media and its government. What we learn from this audiobook is that this is the very climate in which to brew a perfect storm of hysteria. Baloh and Bartholomew go far beyond Havana to make their case. They chart psychogenic mass illnesses through centuries of experience. They show both that history is chock full of examples of disorders having essentially all of the features of the Havana Syndrome, and disturbingly, that even today our impulse is to discount these historical lessons and instead to concoct fanciful explanations such as weaponized sounds, if only to avoid labeling the victims of these syndromes as hysterics. In so doing, we not only amplify the illnesses, but we fail the victims by excluding them from the insight treatments that might be effective. This is an important audiobook for professionals in journalism, for people in policy positions, for a lay audience seeking to gain insight into the reality of life in a mass media age, and for medical professionals who, once again, need to learn these lessons to care for their patients. Mark S. Cohen, Professor of Psychiatry, Neurology, Radiology, Bioengineering, Psychology, and Biomedical Physics, University of California, Los Angeles, California, USA. Imagination frames events unknown in wild, fantastic shapes of hideous ruin, and what it fears creates. Hannah More. Hannah More, The Poetical World of Hannah More with an Account of Her Life. London, Scott, Webster and Geary, 1838, page 73. 1. Chasing Ghosts in Cuba. If men define situations as real, they are real in their consequences. William Isaac Thomas. It reads like the pages from a spy novel. State Department doctors uncover an attack on diplomats at the American Embassy in Havana, Cuba, by a hostile foreign power using a mysterious new weapon that causes brain damage. Those affected are evacuated stateside for treatment. Their health problems are extensive: headaches, dizziness, nausea, and fatigue. Some describe being in a strange mental fog and have difficulty concentrating and remembering things. Many are confused and disoriented. Others have trouble walking, sleeping, and focusing their eyes. They complain of an array of ear problems, sensitivity to sound, tinnitus, pain, pressure, and hearing loss. Most concerning of all are the concussion-like symptoms. An eerie, high-pitched sound accompanies most of the attacks, described variously as piercing, buzzing, and grinding. One affected embassy diplomat told a journalist that it was a very high-pitched sound that resembled a teapot on steroids. State Department Representative Heather Nauert would later observe, "We have never seen this any place in the world before. There is concern that a new weapon has been developed and is being used against Americans, most likely by the Russians or Chinese with the knowledge of the government in Havana. The attacks spur the State Department to expel Cuban diplomats and threaten to shut down the embassy. Reports also emerge of Canadian diplomats in Havana who were also affected by the mysterious attacks." In early 2018, 15 months after the first reported attack, the case takes a new and dramatic twist as a team of neuroscientists at the University of Pennsylvania confirm the existence of concussion-like symptoms that damage the American patients' brains from what they refer to as an unknown energy source. The findings are published in the prestigious Journal of the American Medical Association and make headlines around the world. Who was behind these nefarious attacks? What was their purpose, and what was the strange new weapon? The JAMA study led to a flurry of sensational news stories confirming not only that the attacks had taken place, but had caused brain trauma.